It's all emotional. The most important thing we can do as leaders is help people solidify a sense of safety, belonging, and mattering. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Once we have food and shelter handled, before the luxury of love, we want safety, belonging, and mattering. What has been the most effective form of punishment for centuries? Most effective form of punishment? Exile, thank you, because you're not safe, you don't belong, and there's no way you matter. Because if you mattered, they wouldn't have exiled you, right? Safety, belonging, mattering, out the window. So if we can keep thinking about how do we help our clients feel safety, belonging, and mattering, how do we help our people feel that sense of safety, belonging, and mattering, it's huge. I'll show you some ways today. Okay, is there anything else? Oh, global branding. I'm going to say emotion. Emotion in brand. Is there anything else before we get started? Are we good? Is this enough? This is probably enough, yeah? Okay, good. If something comes up later, you're like, I gotta have this, tell me. All right, so for starters, you know that we do this, yay, predictable revenue, et cetera. Now, here's something I want us to really think about. I want you to think about where you are, okay? At each of these inflection points over the past 30 years, as I've been helping clients build businesses, building my own as well, at each of these inflection points, a few really cool things happen. For starters, we have to adjust our business model, we have to evolve our people, and we have to tweak our revenue model at each of these levels. At each of these levels, we have a whole new company, if you will. The people stuff is the hardest, which is why I'm going to spend time on that today. But how many of you are heading towards the 10 million in revenue milestone? How many of you guys are heading towards this inflection point? Okay. Yeah, hold them high so I can get a feeling so I can tailor the speech more. How many of you guys are heading towards 25? Is 25, like it's in your sights, you can see it, okay? 50? 50 is next for you guys? 100? 100 is next? Okay? 250? All right, a few? 500? A billion? Okay, got it. Good, thank you so much. I want to first look at, I hope you can hear me because we have a little paper situation here. I want to look at your brain for a second. I'm not an amazing artist, but the first thing I want us to think about is how many thoughts we have per day. How many thoughts do you guys think you have per day? Thousands. Thousands, thank you. According to, not quite million sweets, but high. According to Fred Luskin at Stanford, we have 60,000 thoughts per day. 60,000. What percentage of those do you think are repetitive? 90. Oh, 90. So Fred Luskin did some research. We have 60,000 thoughts per day. 90% are repetitive. It's humbling. I get it. But what I want, where's my paper hanger, pal? What I want us to think about is with these 60,000 thoughts that are repetitive, where are they going? Well, here's what's happening. I'm going to nest all these, and then I'm going to talk about them in one sec. Okay. Here's how your brain has evolved. For starters, reptilian brain, right? Our reptilian brain is simply in charge of just making sure our body works, okay? Controls breathing, balance, temperature, really basic. Next is our mammalian brain, okay? And the mammalian brain really contains the limbic system. This is what's most important about the mammalian brain. It's the emotional center of the brain. So when we're going for really emotional messages, we have to make sure that we're tapping here. The challenge with the mammalian brain is what's inside it is also the limbic system, which is fight, flight, freeze. When our people feel overwhelmed, when they aren't maybe being as accountable, when they don't have a sense of urgency, it's probably because they're here. They're in fight, flight, freeze. When we aren't clear as leaders, we're sending our people right into their limbic system. When we're being vague with our directions, you know, because people don't want to fail, et cetera. So how often are we sending people into our limbic system? You know, how interesting. Now, what's beyond the limbic system within the mammalian brain, okay, the emotions are here, is the cortex. This is where we want our people to hang out. So the things I'm going to show you today will be shifting people into their cortex. The cortex is where we do problem solving, where we do innovation, where people have like those, aha moments. This is where you want your people, in the cortex. We're going to look at how we send them out of their cortex, and we're going to look at how we get them in. So when we're in stress, we're stuck here. OCD, we're stuck here. A lot of ADD, we're stuck here. A lot of attention deficit disorder is really beneath it is fear, is fight, flight, freeze. Okay? When we go into challenging companies and there's a tremendous amount of apathy, apathy is just freeze that's been freezing for too long. Okay? I'd rather that they be angry, than apathetic. All right, moving on. Let's talk about how we can shift this as leaders. All right, this is the leadership effectiveness pyramid. Every challenge with leadership, we can debug and diagnose and fix with this, right? It would take me a few hours to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to kind of drill down on certain aspects of it that I think are really important. For starters, look at, on the left, the leader's experience. So this is your experience. When you're focused, you're engaged, you're present. Your people feel that you are aware and you care. Okay, good. Now we're starting to get some safety, right? Next, when we're direct, we're aligned, we're energized. Our people are more motivated because they have explicit expectations from us. We're going to start doing some labs in just a sec. When we are accountable, and I will give you accountability structures that have worked for the past 30 years remarkably, we get high-value results. Our team feels that we are transparent and trustworthy. Ah, good. I know where the bar is, so now I know how high to jump. Okay? If I don't deliver, I know what the rewards are if I do. I know what the consequences are if I don't. Right? Influential. We feel flexible and powerful. Our people feel that we are capable, we are collaborative, we're not sending, orders down the food chain, we're enrolling them. And then, of course, sustainability is where we get a tremendous amount of safety, but we also prevent burnout. All right, let's get into focus. To be focused is to be present. How many of you, honestly, right now are thinking, okay, so after work I have to do this and that and pick up the kids, and when I get back to the office I have to do, it's just, raise your hand, just confess. Thank you for your honesty. Okay, so how present are you being right now, right? When we can be really present, not having a meeting and typing on email at the same time, not being on the phone and also doing email at the same time, we get much better results because we are here and we are catching the nuances. Okay. There are things, our brain works in the following way. We delete because you can't handle everything, right? We would be totally nutters if we actually took in all the information coming to us. You can't. Your brain can't process all that. You wouldn't want to. So we delete, we distort. Distort means we give more importance to certain things than others. Just like with global branding, we want our brand to have more importance, more emotional pull, than another brand. And we generalize. We walk into a room and we generally know where the light switch is. Imagine the chaos if every time we walked into a room, the light switch was in a different place. It was on the floor in some rooms, it was on the ceiling, and there was maybe a ladder provided in other rooms. It would be bad. So our brains need to be able to delete, distort, and generalize.